Mayong hapon sa inyong tanan. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the 2011 Scientific Productivity System Awarding Ceremony. For this afternoon, we have a whole lot of awardees. And so, we would like to begin by calling on our Vice President for Academic Affairs to welcome us all. May I please call on Vice President P. Concepcion.
Chancellors of the various constituent units, chancellors, UP officials, national scientists, Cruz, Professor Emeritus Cecilia Florencio, who are members of the SPS committee, distinguished awardees, their families, friends, colleagues. Thank you for being in this very important occasion for the university. This is to mark achievement in the field of research, and it is important to us because our university is striving to be transformed to a research university. So the UP Scientific Productivity System was established by the Board of Regents on August 26, 2005. The UPSIO aims to encourage and reward scientific productivity to deserving scientists who are given the rank of UP scientist for a period of 3 years with a monetary award and incentive, the UP Scientific Productivity Award. To date, I think we can flash this in the screen. A total of 113 have been recognized, including those who will be awarded this afternoon, broken down as follows. 89 the scientist 1 rank, 17 with the rank of scientist 2, and 7 with the rank of scientist 3. So the SPS is one of many incentives given by our Alumni University to the achievers and the performers in the field of research. And we know that it is research that will improve or elevate the quality of our teaching as well as our extension work. And so I would consider this occasion important in our university because our awardees are the heroes of the university. They are the models for the younger researchers and faculty members. To support the SPS, we have other initiatives and incentives that will try to encourage all of us to perform high-quality research. And recently, this is announced by the OVPAA, one of which is the revised International Publication Awards, and another one is the revised Emerging Interdisciplinary Research Program, for which there has been a call process. So with this background, I'd like to have us continue with the program, and we would like to then present an award, the 2011 UP scientists from the various constituent units. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice President Gisela. Now may we start our award ceremony proper, but we'd also like to now formally welcome our special guests at the presidential table. Once again, we'd like to acknowledge the presence of national scientist and University Professor Emeritus Dr. Ernesto O. Domingo, national scientist and Professor Emeritus Dr. Lourdes J. Cruz, University Professor Emeritus Dr. Cecilia A. Florencio, and of course, our most beloved UP President, Alfredo E. Pascual. So we will now begin our awarding ceremony. To assist me in this endeavor, and the lady who computed meticulously to make sure that the awards were going to be given to the proper persons. May we please acknowledge all the efforts of the committee, of course. The mathematics was initially done by Dr. Ernelea Cao. All right, so may we begin with Scientist 1 from UP Diliman, but may we call please President Alfredo Pascual to take center stage, and Chancellor of UP Diliman, Chancellor Cesar Saloma. And to be assisted also by Vice President Gisela Concepcion. All right, so our first scientist awardee, who will be represented by Dr. Ernelea Cao, is Dr. Maria Corazon A. de Ungria. Her unit is the... She's up there, her photo is flashed up there. Her unit is the National Sciences Research Institute. She is a University Researcher 3. She has a PhD in molecular microbiology. Her UP Scientist rank is Scientist 1. Number of publications. She is a co-author of 6 publications in 6 different ISI journals. Molecular Biology and Evolution, BMC Genetics, Science, Forensic Science International Genetics, Journal of Forensic Sciences, and Legal Medicine. She is a co-author of 2 papers in Acta Medica, co-author of a chapter of a book published by the Cambridge University Press, peer reviewer of an article in an international journal, 3 works cited in 3 ISI journals, affiliate member of the Academy of Science for the Developing World, awarded the Young Women Scientist Researcher in the Life Sciences from the Third World Organization of Women in Science and the Third World Academy of Science, or SCOPUS, awarded the Outstanding Young Scientist Award by the Third World Academy of Science and the National Academy of Science and Technology. Once again, our first Scientist 1 awardee, Dr. Maria Corazon A. de Ungria. Her certificate will be received by Dr. Ernelea Cao. Thank you. Our next Scientist 1 is Dr. Rene P. Felix. Can you call on Dr. Rene, please? Or a representative? Oh, he's here. Oh, Mr. Felix. Now I remember when I was in college, he was our very popular math professor. Hi, sir. Long time no see. Sorry, I have to be a little casual here. This is a reunion of sorts. And one of my batchmates really has a dire crush on this gentleman. I will tell him, we met. Dr. Felix is from the Institute of Mathematics, College of Science, UP Diliman. He is currently Professor 12. He has, of course, a PhD in mathematics, co-author of 8 publications in the ISI Index journals, Philosophical Magazine, and the German journal, which I will not attempt to pronounce at this point. And he is a co-author of 2 publications in Matemias Mathematica, peer reviewer of a book published by the World Scientists, 2 works cited in 3 ISI journals, member of the Commission on Mathematical and Theoretical Crystallography, International Mathematics Union. Our second Scientist 1 awardee, Dr. Rene P. Felix. Thank you. Our third Scientist 1 awardee, Dr. Alonzo A. Gabriel. Center stage, please, Dr. Gabriel. Dr. Gabriel's department is of Food Science and Nutrition, College of Home Economics, UP Diliman. He is an assistant professor for holds a PhD in Biofunctional Science and Technology, Food Microbiology, and Hygiene. Authorship of 2 articles and co-author of 14 articles in 11 different ISI index journals, namely Food Science and Technology Research, LWT-Food Science and Technology, Food Control, Journal of Food Processing and Preservation, Food Chemistry, Journal of Food Process Engineering, Journal of Food Quality, Biocontrol Science, African Journal of Microbiology Research, Journal of Muscle Foods, International Journal of Food Microbiology. He is also co-author of an article in an international journal. Our awardee, Scientist 1 awardee, Dr. Alonso A. Gabriel. Also, they've been planning a career in the movies. Doesn't he have the looks for it? So, we have to be well-rounded. All right, our 4th Scientist 1 on a renewal basis is Dr. Annabelle A. Herrera. Dr. Annabelle, or anyone representing Dr. Annabelle, Institute of Biology, maybe the dean or the chairperson, or maybe chancellor. Okay. Oh, again, Dr. Ernalea. From the Institute of Biology. Again, representing Dr. Annabelle Herrera, who is from the Institute of Biology, Professor 12, PhD in Zoology, co-author of 8 publications in 3 ISI index journals, namely Philippine Agricultural Scientist, Asia Life Sciences, Journal of Medicinal Plants Research, member of the Third World Organization for Women in Science. Our Scientist 1 on a renewal basis, Dr. Annabelle A. Herrera. Thank you, Dr. Kao. Our 5th Scientist 1 on a renewal basis is what he won't be here. May we have the representative of Dr. Alfredo Mahara Francisco A. Lagmay from the National Institute of Geological Science. Any representative? Next. Oh, Chancellor this time. All right. Now, Dr. Mahar has a PhD in geology, and he is co-author of an article in a national journal and 6 publications in 6 ISI indexed journals, namely Philippine Science Letters, Bulletin of Volcanology, Geosphere, Global and Planetary Change, International Journal of Remote Sensing, and Journal of Disasters. Our awardee, Dr. Alfredo Mahar Francisco A. Lagmay, represented here by our loving Chancellor, Cesar Saloma. All right, it's Dr. Mahar up there. Our next awardee also not coming today, so we need another representative from the Institute of Mathematics. Our awardee is Dr. Agnes T. Paras. Institute of from the Math, please. May we call on Dr. Felix. Oh, Dr. Felix, come please to receive the recognition of Dr. Paras. Dr. Paras is Professor 3, holds a PhD in mathematics, is a co-author of an article in a national journal and 7 articles in 3 ISI index journals. And these journals are Linear Algebra and its Applications, Houston J Math, and Communications in Algebra. He is a peer reviewer. Oh, she is a peer reviewer. No picture? She is a peer reviewer of 2 articles in international journals, 2 works cited in 3 ISI journals, and a plenary speaker at the 5th Asian Mathematical Conference in Kuala Lumpur. Our awardee for Scientist 1, Dr. Agnes T. Paras, represented by Dr. Felix. Thank you again, Dr. Felix. Our next Scientist 1 on a renewal basis, Dr. Arnel A. Salvador, Yes, please. Dr. Salvador is the director of the National Institute of Physics. He holds a PhD in physics. He is a co-author of an article in a national journal and 6 articles in 4 ISI indexed journals, namely Advanced Materials Research, Applied Physics Letters, Journal of Applied Physics, and Optical Materials. He is also a peer reviewer of 2 papers published by Elsevier, member of the International Union of Pure and Applied Physics. Our awardee, Dr. Arnel A. Salvador. Congratulations, Paul. So may we now call on all, just stay, sir, just stay. May we please call on all the Scientist 1 awardees, please, from UP Diliman. May we now call on sir, you just stay, huh? Or may we now call on Dr. Annabel Herrera, please, to accept her recognition. There. Well, previously we had read here, sir, stay, because we'll have photo op of all the, yes, stay there. Now may we call on all the Scientists 1 who were called previously for our group photo. All the Scientists 1 that were called previously. Please join the President and the Chancellor of UP Diliman. May we call on our national scientists, please, and also Dr. Florencio to join this. Please, our national scientists, Dr. Domingo, Dr. Cruz, Dr. Florencio, just for a group photo. So our Scientist 1 awardees of UP Diliman. Congratulations, congratulations. May we now please call on Chancellor of UP Mindanao, Dr. Hilda Rivero. Yes. May we please call on, there's UP Mindanao Scientist 1 awardee, Dr. Larry and Diga. All the way from UP Mindanao. And he sings very well. He's bringing up Durian also, and Pomelo Oomon. Oh, he sings, huh? Can we sing in the background, Larry? No. Mamaya. Okay, thank you very much and congratulations, Dr. Larry. See you in Mindanao. At this point, please request the President and the Vice President to relax for a while, because we will listen to an inspirational message from our beloved University Professor Cecilia A. Florencio.
How does one respond? And already inspired. The assignment given to us is not an easy one to respond. And since I am not equal to the task, I have come not to inspire, but to share a few thoughts that I hope will allow us to pause and ponder. My thoughts are grouped into 2. The SPS scientist, and beyond that, the UP scientist. I did a little study of the data, so patiently put together. And this is what I'd like to share with you, and perhaps as I said, pause and ponder on the way, as to the way forward. In 2000, there were more than 2,500 associate professors and full professors in the whole university. If we assume that they are the pool from which we can get our SPS scientists. And we had 113 in 6 years. Let's be generous and say 20 per year on the average, which means less than 1% of our potential actually is producing the way we hope they will. Let's focus it a bit more. Of the 113, 79% of scientists 1, scientists 2, 20%, and scientists 3, 1%. Of the first 23, further focus, of the first 23, only 11 were reappointed in 2009. It would be nice indeed to see what will happen to the 11 second round. What will this mean in terms of pausing and pondering? One, that the challenge of getting more and more of associate professors and full professors into the SPS. Two, getting more and more of S2s and why not S3s. And three, how to have a greater retention rate. Those are the challenges within the system. But let's go beyond the system and now talk about the university scientist. The SPS scientist is there because we know it. You now have the K to say Juan de la Cruz, Associate Professor 3, UP Scientist 1 or 2 or 3. But the what I call the scientification or scientization of the university is not about counting. It is easy to count. What I'd like to ask our appointees and scientists here are two questions. In what ways and for what ends do we use our own publications and those of our colleagues in teaching our courses? The building of a research university is as much us, the scientists, as it is about us teaching the ethos of research in every single class that we handle, in every single syllabus that we formulate, in every interaction that we have with them. The other important question to me is to ask, how do we then nurture in our academic community the appropriate research ethos, both the discipline and the ethics? Counting is difficult, but counting is far easier than building a community of scholars. Let me focus on just one, reading. It's interesting to see or read about UP Professor Emeritus Julia say, and I quote, to read, to think, to write, is strictly in that order, comprise at the most basic level the life of the university. But what do we mean reading? We mean reading independently, we mean reading critically, we mean reading widely, we mean reading so that we can be better thinkers and teachers and administrators and also in public service. Let me just say that in a study that was done by Peter Lawrence of the University of Cambridge, and in an article entitled The Mismanagement of Science, they studied one of the published articles in the Ivor Journal, which received 48 citations. Of the 48, only 3, according to them, were appropriately read and written. 3 were just wrong, and 37 were incidental in the sense that better articles should be used instead of others. Yes, we should publish, but before the output is the process of reading and thinking and writing. Let me end with reading in another sense through a story of UP Professor in a centennial lecture, he made reference to an oral defense of a dissertation on a very technical issue. That's how technical it is. But bioluminescence is abstract. And in the middle of the scientific inquiries, the panel asked the biology student whether she knew the story of the Spot Zero LC. And the student pondered, this is supposed to be an examination. But since she had read about LC, she went on to share her knowledge of that story. After the panel examination, she approached the chair and said, "Would you please tell me the relevance of that question?" And the chairman said, "We wanted to know if you were sufficiently well-read to be worthy of a doctoral degree from the University of California, Los Angeles." I now ask, what about us at the University of the Philippines? Yes, we talk of the SPS scientists, but about the UP scientists. Indeed, to pause and ponder for all of us.
Truly, very significant thoughts for us to ponder on in the coming days. Thank you very much, Dr. Florencio. We call on the scientist one from UP Manila. Again, we call on President Alfredo Pascual, this time to be assisted by Chancellor Ramon Arcadio, who will be represented this afternoon by Dr. Josefina Payag. Dr. Lulu Bravo from UP Manila. Too many activities at this point, and maybe call on VP Giselle once again to join us here. There. So our first scientist one from UP Manila is Dr. Charlotte M. Chiong. Dr. Chong is from the Philippine National Ear Institute of the College of Medicine, UP Manila. She is a Research Associate Professor 5, and her field of specialization is Doctor of Medicine. She is a co-author of 2 papers in the ISI Index journals ACTA, Otolaryngologica, and the Southeast Asia Journal of Tropical Medicine, Public Health. She is a co-author of 13 articles in national and international journals, editor-in-chief of the Philippine Journal of Otolaryngology, Head and Neck Surgery, co-author of an original peer-reviewed design, low-cost video Frenzel glasses, and peer reviewer of an article and works cited in scientific journals. Our Scientist One awardee from UP Manila, Dr. Charlotte M. Chiong. Congratulations. Our next awardee, also for Scientist One, Dr. Antonio L. Danz. Dr. Dance is from the Department of Internal Medicine, College of Medicine, UP Manila. He is Professor 11, and his field of specialization is Doctor of Medicine. He is the sole author of an article and co-author of 7 papers in the ISI indexed journals. These journals are Journal of Clinical Epidemiology, Lancet, and Cochrane Database of Systematic Reviews. He is also the co-author of 2 articles in international journals, editor of a book published by John Wiley and Company, and associate editor of the ISI Indexed Journal of Clinical Epidemiology. His works have also been cited in 3 scientific journals. Our Scientist 1 awardee, Dr. Antonio L. Dance. Congratulations. Our next Scientist 1 awardee, again from UP Manila, may we call on Dr. Arnold V. Halyare. Dr. Halyare is from the Department of Biology, College of Arts and Sciences, UP Manila. He holds a Professor 4 position. His field of specialization is Doctor of RENAT, equivalent to a PhD. He is a co-author of 6 articles in 6 different ISI indexed journals. These journals are the Bulletin of Environmental Contamination and Toxicology, Philippine Journal of Science, Environmental Monitoring and Assessment, Mutation Research, Genetic Toxicology and Environmental Mutagenesis, Environmental Toxicology and Chemistry, and Ecotoxicology and Environmental Safety. He is a co-author of 3 articles in international journals, peer reviewer of articles in 2 scientific journals, member of the editorial board of the Journal of Soils and Sediments and Annals of Tropical Research, and his works have been cited in 3 scientific journals. Our Scientist 1 awardee, Dr. Arnold V. Halyare. Congratulations! May we now again call on all our UP Manila awardees. Sorry, Dr. Halyare. May we please call on our 3 Scientist 1 awardees from UP Manila, please. And again, our national artists and Dr. Florencio to join us in a group photo, national scientists and here we go. Thank you and congratulations to our Scientist 1 awardees from UP Manila. At this point, we would again like to listen to another inspirational message from our national scientist and university professor emeritus, Dr. Ernesto O. Domingo.
And my colleagues in the university. As you know, I'm still active in the university, but I have been here much longer than all of you, without exception. Because I joined the university continuously from 1961 until I retired. So I would like to believe that I know the university from the institutional point of view. And I'd like to pay tribute to the previous administration for pushing research as an integral activity of the university to a point where we have this occasion now that we are acknowledging faculty. There was a time, and this is from personal experience, when it was very, very difficult to do research in the university for a number of reasons. Number one, and that was true there was really no money, no significant money in any moderate size research. Number two, when it comes to promotion, certainly the teachers have the edge over the researchers because the research output was given value slightly less than teaching function. At the moment, at least from the point of view of the health sciences, money in research is no longer a problem. We cannot, for example, we don't have the active capability to consume the money that is there for asking, provided, of course, our proposal is good. And the reason why there is no significant utilization of the very good money is best illustrated to me when I was about to deliver my centennial lecture in 2008. No, 2000, last time. And I went back, I'm no longer in the university. I met all the colleges in UP Manila with their dean and faculty members. And in one of the academic units, I will no longer mention because it's very embarrassing. I asked the dean, why is there very little research? In fact, no research going on in your college. Student requirements, senior students are asked to do some more research. And the dean, in all seriousness, answered me. I really felt off my chair. I said, sir, there's no money from the university. I said, I just came from the Chancellor's office, and I know for a fact that you were being offered 2 million, and you did not get it. What was the reason why did you avail of the 2 million? You know what the dean told me? He said, kasi po, ang gusto nila magsabit kami ng research proposal. Bakit? Sabi ko, paano mo gusto kunin yung pera? Eh sana po, bibigay sana ng 2 million, bahala na kami. That's really a very, I don't know how to react. I said, you give money for research when you don't even get a research proposal. So I think, going back to what I said, the university has really succeeded, and I'm sure in the future it will add more and more incentive to those people who want to do research in the university. And this is one good example. But I suggest to our very energetic, very pushy Vice President Concepcion said, maybe we all should work for a system of a developmental system university similar to many universities abroad. And I asked me what was that. I said, maybe we should now move forward and say we are giving what we call a research grant for research faculty development. It's a career research grant. The way it's figured in other countries is that a junior researcher who has established some promising track record in research is given a grant consisting of salary and incidental expenses for a period of 5 years. But the salary given is such that he does not have to do other work to augment the income, especially because they have families. This is, the money comes from government. This is very, very successful because after 5 years, when the researcher does not have to worry about where to get the augmentation money, the likelihood is that during that time, he has built a sizable publication that establishes him as a researcher, and then money is no longer a problem. Even during that time when money was a problem, when we had the research, the legal study group which we established, and we started doing work, my problem then really is that I have to refuse some offers of support for the research because we don't want to do the research. So even at that time, when there is already an established track record, funding agencies come to you, offering support for you to do certain research. And so finally, I wish that at some point we can really establish this kind of development program in the university in order to produce a significant number of researchers. I would like to end by ending a very light note. I think for all of us who have been in research, at least for my particular case, there are two things I'd like to share with you. First, when I started doing research, very far from my mind is the question of acknowledgement or credit or being given award. The primary reason, at least in my case, why I went to research is I get excited in the thought that a question I ask myself can be finally answered. That is the greatest reward that a researcher has. The second one is that a researcher that is working in an environment where research is a daily activity of life will have to admit that it is a very enjoyable experience, no? Because you are now in touch with many people at any time that you can talk to in relation to research. Very early on, I worked in a research facility where everybody in the building are all researchers. So the room in front of you is a researcher, the one behind you is a researcher, and you meet in the hall and talk about research. It's always research for the whole 8 hours. And it's very funny because the man I work with is very enthusiastic about our research and use big words. Something like, every time he sees another fellow, we are at the threshold of a breakthrough. So breakthrough is the operative word in our unit. The guy in front of us, who is also very good researcher, got fed up about this use of the word breakthrough. So one morning, when I entered the office, I saw a very big sign. There was no tarpaulin at that time. Parang tarpaulin na lang. Ang laki-laki ng letter. And this was the inscription. It says, breakthrough or breakdown. And that is the kind of atmosphere that prevails in a research setting. And finally, this is the other source of fun that you have when you are a researcher. When I was doing research, we have to access a snail facility, a malacology unit. And this was, the malacology unit was established or was there located around Lake Michigan. It was run by a German professor by the name of Professor Van der Schelle. When you go to him to ask for materials, snail you use for your research, there is a routine. There is an initiation rite, and you cannot get the material unless you go through an initiation rite. And what was the initiation rite? Since we are using this snail for research on schistosomiasis snail fever in our country, there is a type of schistosomiasis called avian schistosomiasis. It produces what is known as swimmer's itch. If you take a bath in the water infested with the Cercaria of this parasite, you get infected and you develop tremendous itch. But you will not get sick because the avian type does not mature in human beings, only in birds. And the routine is this. Or was this? You have to put your forearm and the professor will drop a good amount of Cercaria until you itch. It's only after that that you are welcome to the laboratory to partake of the facilities. So, here, what I'm trying to say is research can be fun. We don't have to take it very seriously with furrow's eyebrow as if what we are doing is a breakthrough that will solve our problem. We have to do that so that we will not break down. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, Dr. Domingo, for that refreshing break. Now, may we call on our Scientist One awardees from UP Los Baños. So again, Mr. President, please take center stage. VP Giselle, please. Chancellor Rex Cruz, Dr. Rex Cruz, as well as Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Dr. Rita Lauden, please. So may we please call on our first awardee from UP Los Baños, Dr. Menandro N. Akda. Dr. Akda is from the Forest Products and Paper Science College of Forestry and Natural Resources. He is a professor for, his field of specialization is wood protection and bio-based composites, biomass energy. He is a sole author of 3 papers and co-author of 2 papers in 5 different ISI indexed journals, namely Philippine Journal of Science, Journal of Insect Science, Journal of Tropical Forest Science, the Philippine Agricultural Scientist, and Journal of Pest Science. He is the author of a book published by the Nova Science Publishers. He is also the author of a Philippine patent, composition and method of termite control using the Har barrier. He is a peer reviewer of papers in 2 international journals. So our Scientist One on a renewal basis from UP Los Baños, Dr. Menandro Akda. Our second Scientist One from UP Los Baños is Dr. Nestor T. Baginon. How is it? Baginon. Dr. Baginon is from the Department of Forest, Biological Sciences, College of Forestry and Natural Resources. He holds a Professor One position and has a PhD in forestry. He is the sole author of an article in the ISI Index journal, Asia Life Sciences. He is co-author of 6 papers in international and national journals, author of a book published by the World Agroforestry Center, and a peer reviewer of papers in 2 international journals. Our Scientist One from UP Los Baños, Dr. Nestor T. Baginon. Congratulations, sir. Our next Scientist One, also from UP Los Baños, Dr. Warren N. Baticados. Dr. Baticados is from the Veterinary Paraclinical Sciences, College of Veterinary Medicine, UP Los Baños. His position is Associate Professor 3, and he holds a PhD in Veterinary Science. He is co-author of 8 papers in 3 ISI indexed journals, namely Online Journal of Veterinary Research, Acta Scientiae Veterinariae, Philippine Journal of Veterinary Medicine. He is a co-author of 3 papers in national journals, member of the editorial board of the Philippine Journal of Veterinary and Animal Sciences. He has 2 works cited in 2 international journals. Scientist One from UP Los Baños, Dr. Warren N. Baticados. Congratulations. Our next Scientist One, again from UP Los Baños, Dr. Virginia C. Cuevas. Dr. Cuevas is from the Institute of Biological Sciences, College of Arts and Sciences, UP Los Baños. Her rank is Professor 12 and holds a PhD in Botany. She is sole author of 2 papers and co-author of 4 papers in 3 different ISI index journals, namely the Philippine Journal of Science, the Philippine Agricultural Scientist, the Philippine Journal of Crop Science. She is co-author of a paper and an editor of a national journal, co-inventor of the patent microbial inoculants for use as biofertilizer, crop growth promoter, and biological control agent. She is a peer reviewer of papers in 2 international journals. She has 2 works cited in 2 international journals. Our Scientist One awardee, Dr. Virginia C. Cuevas. Our next Scientist One awardee, Dr. Edwino S. Fernando, Dr. Fernando, aside from having been active in the Hearst Academy Mission project last May, is from the Department of Forest of Biological Sciences, College of Forestry and Natural Resources. He holds a Professor 12 position, and his field of specialization is land taxonomy, forest biodiversity. He is co-author of 7 articles in 5 ISI Index journals, namely the Asia Life Sciences, Philippine Agricultural Scientist, Journal of the International Pond Society, Philippine Journal of Science, and the PLOS 1. He is sole author and co-author of articles in international and national journals, peer reviewer of papers in 2 international journals, and member of the ASEAN Center for Biodiversity. Our Scientist One from UP Los Baños, Dr. Edwino S. Fernando. Our next Scientist One from UP Los Baños, Dr. Leonardo M. Florese. Dr. Florese is from the School of Environmental Science and Management. He holds a Professor 2 position and has a PhD in forestry. He is co-author of 3 papers in the ISI Index journals Asia Life Sciences and Philippine Journal of Crop Science. He is co-author of 3 articles in international journals, sole and co-author of 4 papers in national journals, a peer reviewer of papers in 2 international journals, and member of the editorial board of an international journal. Our Scientist One from UP Los Baños, Dr. Leonardo M. Florese. Congratulations. Our next Scientist One from UP Los Baños, Dr. Pablito M. Magdalita. Dr. Magdalita is a comes from the Crop Protection Cluster, Institute of Plant Breeding, College of Agriculture. He holds an Associate Professor 2 position and has a PhD in agriculture. He is co-author of 12 articles in 4 different ISI Index journals, namely Philippine Science Letters, Philippine Journal of Crop Science, Asia Life Sciences, and the Australian Journal of Experimental Agriculture. He is a peer reviewer of 2 papers in an international journal, and his works have been cited in 3 scientific journals. Our Scientist One from UP Los Baños, Dr. Pablito M. Magdalita. Congratulations. Our next Scientist One, again from UP Los Baños, Dr. Merlin S. Mendioro. Dr. Mendioro comes from the Institute of Biological Science, College of Arts and Sciences, UPLB. She is a Professor 10 and has a PhD in genetics. She is co-author of 11 articles in 5 different ISI Index journals. These journals are the Philippine Journal of Science, Euphytica, the Philippine Agricultural Scientist, the Philippine Journal of Crop Science, Theoretical and Applied Genetics. She is co-author of a paper and an editor of a national journal. She is also a peer reviewer in the Acta Physiologiae Planetarum, published by Springer. Our Scientist One from UP Los Baños, Dr. Merlin S. Mendioro. Congratulations, man. Our next Scientist One from UP Los Baños, Dr. Maria Victoria Ortega Espaldon. Dr. Ortega Espaldon is from the School of Environmental Science and Management. She holds a Professor 6 position and has a PhD in geography. Number of publications. She is a co-author of 2 articles in the ISI Index Journal of Coastal Conservation and Springer Publishing, co-author of 5 articles in international journals, and co-author of book chapters published by Wiley Blackwell, A. John and Sons Publishing, and Malaysia. Her works were cited in 3 scientific journals, and she is one of the authors of the paper awarded by Zayed International Prize for the Environment. Scientist 1 from UP Los Baños, Dr. Maria Victoria Ortega Espaldon. May we now call on all our Scientists 1 from UP Los Baños, along with our national scientists again, please, and Dr. Florencio. Gotta squeeze in some more. Congratulations to all our scientists. 1 from UP Los Baños. What did I just do now? All right. So at this point, we'd like to listen once again to another inspirational message from our national scientist and Professor Emeritus, Dr. Lourdes J. Cruz.
Good afternoon, colleagues in the University of the Philippines. As the national scientist Domingo said, with his stories, the university has certainly gone a long way since we started in the university in 1970 to now. At that time there were people. The emphasis was really on teaching, and in the Department of Biochemistry, the chairman was quite encouraging about doing research, but there were some administrators who consider research as bahala ka, gusto mo mag-research, pasalamat ka at pinapayagan ka namin mag-research. Ganun na sinabi noon sa amin. So, kami naman, it's important to have a support group of people who think the same way na, it's nice, we enjoy doing things and asking questions and trying to devise experiments to answer those questions. So, despite the parang medyo discouraging sections tungkol sa research, we just went on. And, when we started applying for research grants, wala namang muradong dati. Sige lang. And we conditioned ourselves into thinking na, pasalamat na tayo, pinapayagan tayo mag-research, because for us, it's like a hobby. Na think of it this way, you do your hobby while in school and you are getting paid for it too. Diba? Pero ngayon, I think these are exciting times to be a researcher in the university. Of course, as national scientist Domingo said, we don't do research because we want to be recognized. But still, it's nice to be recognized by the University of the Philippines. And for all of you are here because you are all very well motivated and highly accomplished. And I think you don't really need an inspirational message because you're already highly inspired because you've been doing very productive research. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Laureate, Dr. Cruz. And by the way, Dr. Cruz also has an advocacy program, and is that in Palawan, Dr. Cruz, where she has helped a community? Is it Palawan, Puerto Princesa? Bataan. And there is a pilot community that she is helping become a better community in terms of their economic status. And speaking of communities, we should also like to congratulate ahead of time the families, the spouses, the children of all our researchers who are here with us this afternoon. Should we also acknowledge them? Many times I'm sure they have to give up intimate evenings because their spouses who have to be so busy on the laptop doing all the analysis and interpretation of data. So congratulations, family members, including the babies. I saw a baby sleeping earlier. There, there's a little baby out there. Now, may we continue. May we please call again on President Pascual, Vice President Gisela, and our Chancellor of UP Visayas, Chancellor Minda Formacion, for the awarding of our Scientist 1 from UP Visayas. So we please maybe begin first with our first Scientist 1 from UP Visayas, Dr. Rosalie Alcala Hall. So I will call Dean Maria Luisa already. On behalf of Dr. Hall, may we please call on Dean Maria Luisa Mabunay, please, to receive the award. Dean Mabunay. Dr. Rosalie Arcala Hall is from the Division of Social Sciences, College of Arts and Sciences, UP in the Visayas. She holds a Professor 4 position and has a PhD in Public and Internal Affairs. She is sole author of 2 articles in the ISI Index journals, the Korean Journal of Defense Defense Analysis, and the Philippine Political Science Journal. She is co-author of 5 articles in international and national journals, editor of the UP Visayas Journal of Humanities, and editor of 3 books by the local publisher Central Book Supply. Our Scientist 1 awardee of UP Visayas, Dr. Rosalie Arcala Hall. Here and represented this afternoon by Dr. Dean Maria Luisa Mabunay. May we now call on Dr. Ricardo P. Babaran. You will return later, ma'am. You will return. Dr. Babaran is from the Institute of Marine Fisheries and Oceanology, College of Fisheries and Ocean Sciences. He holds a position 2, Professor 2 position, and has a PhD in Fisheries Science. He is co-author of 6 articles in 5 ISI indexed journals, namely Bioacoustics, Fishery Science, Fisheries Research, Memoirs of Kagoshima University Faculty of Fisheries, Aquaculture Science. He is a co-author of an article in an international journal, co-author of book chapters published by Blackwell Science, a peer reviewer of papers in 2 scientific journals, and his works have been cited in 3 international journals. Our Scientist 1 from UP Visayas, Dr. Ricardo P. Babaran. Congratulations. I think this time, okay. May we please call on Dr. Juliana C. Bailon. Dr. Juliana, I thought the gentleman was approaching. Dr. Juliana Bailon is from the Division of Biological Sciences, College of Arts and Sciences, UP Visayas. She is a Professor 2 and holds a PhD in Fishery Science. She is co-author of an article and 3 articles with sole authorship in 3 ISI Index journals. These journals are the Journal of the World Aquaculture Society, Asian Fisheries Science, and Aquaculture. She is sole author of 3 articles in national journals. She is a peer reviewer in 2 articles in the ISI journal Aquaculture. Her works have been cited in 3 ISI indexed journals. Our scientist one from UP Visayas, Dr. Juliana C. Bailon. Congratulations. Again, may we call on Dean Maria Luisa Mabunay to receive the award for Dr. Wilfredo L. Campos. Dr. Campos is from the Division of Biological Sciences, College of Arts and Sciences, UP Visayas. He is a Professor 1 and holds a PhD in Fisheries Science. He is co-author of 4 articles and sole authorship of 2 articles in 4 ISI indexed journals. These journals are the Philippine Agricultural Scientist, Fisheries Research, ICES Journal of Marine Science, and the Memoirs of Kagoshima University Faculty of Fisheries. Dr. Campos is co-author of 2 articles in international journals and 6 articles in national journals. He is a peer reviewer in the ISI indexed journals, Philippine Agricultural Scientist, and the Philippine Science Letters Online. Our scientist one from UP Visayas, Dr. Wilfredo L. Campos, herein represented by Dean Mabunay. Our next scientist one from UP Visayas, Dr. Rodelio F. Subade. Dr. Subade is from the Division of Social Sciences, College of Arts and Sciences. He is a Professor 7 and has a PhD in Environmental Science. He is co-author of 2 articles and sole author of an article in 3 ISI indexed journals, namely Ecological Economics, Memoirs of the Kagoshima University Faculty of Fisheries, and Marine Policy Journal. He is co-author of 2 articles in international journals, co-author of 6 articles in national journals, and has been cited in the ISI Index Journal's Annual Review of Resource Economics, Biodiversity and Conservation, and the Environmental and Resources Economics. Our scientist one from UP Los Baños, Dr. Rodelio F. Subade. Sorry, UP Visayas. So I'm lost. May we now call on all our scientists one, please, for our group picture taking with our national scientists and Dr. Florencio. UP Visayas. Yes, the UP Visayas scientist one, please. May we invite all the deans from the UP Visayas, please. Dean Manubay, Dean Manubay, Mabunay, and Dean Bailon. Yan, okay. All right, we're now moving on to Scientist 2 category. May we please call again on President Pascual, VP Gisela, and UP Manila Chancellor, Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Dr. Jose. Oh, no. Okay, Dr. Lulu again, sorry, Dr. Lulu. Okay. Dr. Lulu, a Vice Chancellor for Research. So, our scientist 2 from UP Manila, Dr. Jose Florencio F. La Peña, Jr. Dr. La Peña Jr. is from the Department of Otorhinolaryngology, College of Medicine. He is a Professor 1 and is a medical doctor with an MA also in social science. He is sole author of 2 papers in the ISI indexed Singapore Medical Journal. He is co-author also of 6 articles in national and international journals. He is editor of the Philippine Journal of Otolaryngology, Head Laryngology. Thank you. Head and Neck Surgery. He is a peer reviewer of articles in 2 scientific journals, member of the editorial boards of 2 international journals, including the Otolaryngology, Head and Neck Surgery, an ISI indexed journal, and has 3 works cited in 3 journals. He was an invited expert at the WHO Western Pacific Region Index Medicus and Global Health Library Initiatives. Our scientist 2 from UP Manila, Dr. Jose Florencio F. La Peña Jr. Congratulations, Dr. La Peña Jr. And thank you, Dr. Lulu. May we now please call on the Chancellor once again, as well as the Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs of UP Los Baños. And we'd like to call on Scientist 2, UP Los Baños, Dr. Irineo L. Lit Jr. Also very active in the Philippine Biodiversity project we have in May. Dr. Lit is from the Institute of Biological Sciences, College of Arts and Sciences, UP Los Baños. He is a Professor 1, holds a PhD in entomology. His UP Scientist rank. He is co-author of 12 papers in 5 different ISI indexed journals. He was previously a Scientist 1. The articles, the journals where the articles were published are Asia Life Sciences, the Philippine Agricultural Scientist, Arthropoda, the Philippine Entomologist, and Arthropoda Generalis. He is editor of 2 ISI indexed journals, peer reviewer of papers in 2 international journals, and his works, 3 works, have been cited in 3 international journals. Scientist 2 from UP Los Baños, Dr. Irineo L. Lit Jr. Congratulations. Our next Scientist 2, also from UP Los Baños, Dr. Christian Joseph R. Kumagun. Dr. Kumagun is from the Crop Protection Cluster, College of Agriculture, UP Los Baños. He is Professor 6 and is a Doctor der, oh my goodness, maybe you have to pronounce this for me. Okay, there. Dr. Wisserschaft. Okay, from Germany. Yes. All right. He's co-author of 8 articles in 5 different ISI index journals, namely Plant Protection Science, Journal of Plant Protection Research, Journal of General Plant Pathology, Persunia, Journal of Phytopathology, and Journal of Applied Genetics. He is co-author of 4 papers in international and national journals. He is a peer reviewer of papers in 2 international journals and a member of the editorial board for 2 ISI indexed journals. Our Scientist 2 from UP Los Baños, Dr. Christian Joseph R. Kumagun. Now may we call on all our, Dr. Lit for our photo session, And our national artists, please, again, please. National scientists, please. And our Dr. Florencio, please. Dr. La Peña, Dr. Lit, and Dr. Pumaco. We're moving on to Scientist 3. From UP Manila, Dr. Lulu, come on down. Mr. President again, please, and VP Giselle. Our first Scientist 3 from UP Manila is Dr. Leonila F. Dance. Any special relationship? Tatay daw. Tatay ka daw? Very young tatay, huh? Dr. Leonila is from the Department of Pediatrics, Clinical Epidemiology, College of Medicine. She is a Professor 8 and is a Doctor of Medicine. She is co-author of 3 papers in national journals, co-author of 8 articles in 4 ISI indexed journals. These journals are the Journal of Pediatric Gastroenterology and Nutrition, Journal of Clinical Epidemiology, Cochrane Database Systematic Reviews, and the Journal of International Food and Agribusiness Marketing. She is issue guest editor of the ISI indexed journal, Evidence-Based Child Health. She's editor of a book published by John Wiley and Company. 3 of her works were cited in 3 journals. She is a member of the WHO Geneva Expert Advisory Panel on Clinical Practice Guidelines and Research Methods and Ethics. She is also a member of the WHO Geneva Guidelines Review Committee and a plenary speaker of 2 international conferences. There's a little note here that she fell in love with her husband because they were writing each other through their publications. Yes, so let us congratulate Scientist 3 from UP Manila, Dr. Leonila F. Dance. So their love letters were also published in one of these journals somehow. Are your children already starting to do journal articles? I mean, I really wonder, you know. Woo! So there is life after marriage. There is research after marriage. Research life after marriage. I should tell my own hubby about that. All right. Our next Scientist 3 from UP Los Baños. Woo! You know who you are. Dr. Juan M. Pulhin. May we call him Dr. Laude and Chancellor Cruz, please. Dr. Pulhin is from the Department of Social Forestry and Forest Governance, College of Forestry and Natural Resources, UP Los Baños. He is a Professor 8 and has a PhD in Geographical Sciences. He is co-author of 3 articles in the ISI indexed journals, Agriculture, Human Values, Journal of Environmental Management, and GeoForum. He is co-author of 5 papers in international and national journals. He is co-author of several book chapters by international publishers. He is editor of 2 books published by international publishers. He is a peer reviewer of papers in 2 international journals. He is a member of the editorial board for 2 refereed scientific international journals. He is a coordinating lead author for the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, Working Group for the 5th Assessment Report. He was also a keynote speaker in the 3rd International Conference on Southeast Asian Natural Resources and Environmental Management and a plenary speaker in a scientific international conference. Our Scientist 3 from UP Los Baños, Dr. Juan M. Pulhin. So may we call back, please, Dr. Leonila F. Dance and Dr. Lulu. Dr. Lulu. And now to reveal the secret of their research love affair, Scientist 3, Dr. Leonila Dance. May we call on you, please?
Dr. President Pascual at ito pang opisyal ng UP, mga panauhing pandangan, mga national scientists po, mga university scientists at mga kaibigan, magandang hapon po. Bago ako mag-umpisa, may dalawang corrections po. Okay. Pinarinig po ako sa agribusiness, yung sa in-enumerate sa akin. Hindi po siguro sa akin yun. Sana hindi nagkamali ng count. Baka naman maging national scientist tool lang pala ako. Pag second correction, hindi po kami, ano nasabi, nagkasama during the paggawa ng mga articles. Actually, dito po kami sa UP Diliman nagkilala. Okay. Ako po, ang mga kasama ko pong nagawaran ng university scientist na karangalan ngayon ay lubusang nagagalak sa parangal na ito. Ako po ay galing sa Department of Pediatrics. Ang aking pong chair ay si Dr. Padilla. Gusto ko magpasalamat din sa kanya kasi siya po talaga yung nagtulong sa amin at pinulit kami para makolekta itong mga aming mga naging gawain na sa aming pananaliksik. So, kasama po siya sa aking parangal na ito ngayon. Ako rin po ay galing sa isang department of clinical epidemiology sa UP Manila. Isang maliit na department lang po yun. Pero nung mga ilang taon na nakalipas, nagkaroon kami ng malaking problema. Halos kalahati po ng aming faculty dito sa maliit na department na yun ay nagsialisa na. Ang iba po ay nakuha ng ibang organisasyon tulad po ng WHO, tulad po ng ibang drug companies. So, nag-contact po kami sa department na yun. So, ang aming pong ginawa, talaga pong sinusi namin kung bakit kami naiwan, no? Para naman makahimok kami sa iba pang mga pananaliksik na sumali sa aming department. So, ang una po namin, sigurado po kami na hindi po pera kaya kami naiwan. Dahil po, at that time, panahon na yun, wala akong sweldo sa aming department, ng mga nandun sa aming faculty. So, dalawang kadahilan ang aming pong natukoy kung bakit po naiwan o nananatiling nagsiservisyo sa aming department. No? Ang unang-una po is, yung mga taong naiwan, tinutukoy po nilang malaking utang na loob sa mga galing sa ating universidad kung bakit po tayo nagkaroon po kami ng edukasyon na dagdag sa aming mga kaalaman. So yung utang na loob ngayon ay naging dahilan kung bakit po pusang loob po kami nagtutuloy ng serbisyo sa ating pamangkasan. So malaking pasasalamat po yun sa aming parte. Ang pangalawang rason po, nakita namin kung bakit po yung mga naiwan nandun pa din ay lahat po kami ay nag-i-enjoy pa sa aming mga ginagawa. At ang dahilan po ito ay una, ang UP po talagang may malayang pamamaraan, no? Sa mga ating ginagawa at sa ating mga pagtatrabaho. At ang isang malaking bagay po dito ay ang ating mga kasama sa trabaho ay tunay po mga pagkatalino. At bihira po sa iba-ibang pang organisasyon o iba-ibang pamangkasan na makapagsama-sama ang ganito ng mga katrabaho. At sa tulad po ng pananaliksik na tulad ko, isa pong kaiga-igayang paghahapon parang dagdag parangal sa ating mga ginagawa, malaking pasasalamat na po yan. Siyempre, mas malaki kong pasasalamat, may additional na bonus sa ating tunay na sweldo. Okay? Sa pagkakataon na ito, hindi ko naman maikakalat, talagang masarap na minsan-minsan ay talagang natatapatan ang mga pagigirap natin, lalo na sa mga larangan ng pananalisip. So, sa ngalan po ng ibang university scientists mula sa aming puso, kami po ay nagpapasalamat sa ating universidad para sa parangal nito.
Sayang, inaabang-abangan ko pa naman. Anyway, that's the next publication we will look forward to. And also, VP Giselle has a very important announcement regarding that in a few minutes. May we now call on Scientist 3, Juan Pulhin, for his message.
President Pascal, Vice President Giselle Concepcion, Dr. Cecilia Comencio, Dr. Ernesto Domingo, Dr. Lourdes Cruz, Chancellors and their representatives, fellow awardees, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant and blessed afternoon to all of us. Indeed, this afternoon is blessed, not only for us who receive the prestigious UP Scientist Award under the UP Scientific Productivity System, but also, I believe, to the entire UP system constituency as a whole. This is because this afternoon's occasion is symbolic of UP's unwavering commitment and support to encourage and uphold among its faculty and staff the value of excellence by providing recognition, material incentives, and conducive environment that fosters advanced scientific productivity for national development. This, we believe, is an excellent university tradition which should be continued at all costs. However, our quest for UP Scientist Award, I believe, goes beyond mere recognition and incentives. I believe that the common and major driving force that binds us all, the awardees together, is also our utmost desire to excel in our respective fields, to be able to contribute to UP's goal under the new charter to become the true national university, that is, being genuine public university, a relevant research university, and an overgrowing graduate university rolled into one. This we can achieve apart from the pursuit of excellence and hard work. An outstanding figure in the history of visual arts, and I'm not drawing from science, but from visual arts, Michelangelo, who lived 5 centuries ago, once said, and I quote, "The greater challenge for most of us is not that our aim is too high and we miss it, but that it is too low and we reach it." But Michelangelo did not only aim high, he also worked hard to become one of the greatest artists of all time. He painted the ceiling of Sistine Chapel, one of his most famous masterpieces, by lying on his back and working every day for 4 long years, between 1508 to 1512. It was a project that lesser artists would have considered impossible, yet Michelangelo took it on, and many more in a lifetime crammed full of high energy, high talent, and yes, even high aims. Indeed, Michelangelo challenged to aim high, and his passion for excellence and hard work should continue to inspire us in our quest for a greater UP. Having said this, I want to thank, in behalf of my fellow awardees, the following: UP for imbibing in us the culture of excellence in all our undertakings since we were students until this time that we are now faculty members and staff. The UPLB administration for instituting the UP Scientific Productivity System established by the BOR in its 1199th meeting on 26 of August 2005 to encourage and reward scientific productivity. To the leadership of our respective constituent universities and colleagues in our respective units for creating an enabling working environment so we may give our best and become scientifically productive. To all our students, past, present, and future, who were, who are, and will be our constant source of challenge and inspiration as we nurture them to also excel in their chosen field of endeavors. To our families and loved ones for all their support and sacrifices, and for serving as inspiration in all our undertakings. To them, we also share the honor these awards bring. And finally, to God Almighty, who is the source of all knowledge, skills, and wisdom, to Him we give glory and honor for all our accomplishments. Thank you all very much.
Thank you also, Scientist 3, Dr. Pulhin. Dr. Pulhin did mention Michelangelo, so from the painters, let's move on to our song specialists. Michelle Esmeralda T. Montero. Tunay ngay kami na in love muli. May we now call on VP for Academic Affairs, Gisela P. Concepcion, for the university's research programs and initiatives. Dr. Gisela.
Thank you, Anthony. I just want to say that, well, I think we were all moved to tears, some of us to tears, with the performance of our musicians. And we could say that just like science moves us, because art and science are one, and we're all driven by the same passion and the spirit of creation and innovation. And so just like we have the SBS, we're also going to have the ABS very soon. And for both the scientists and artists, we're also going to announce soon, very soon, the Creative Research Work Grants that many of you have been waiting for. Okay, so that's that grant, President, that allows a faculty member to enjoy a grant that is about 60% of his salary. So we have that grant. Okay, so you probably are aware that there are some new initiatives under the administration of President Pascual to push research and also to pull research. So I come from the natural sciences and I have this basic biophysical chemical background, so I always like to get ideas from physics, from chemistry, and biology. So we do have a number of initiatives to push research as well as reward research. And one of them is the Emerging Interdisciplinary Research Program, which is a revision of the Emerging SMT program in the previous administration. And you should read about it in our website. And that is trying to foster interdisciplinary, inter-sea research, okay, which is part of our priorities under the Charter and this administration. Also, there is going to be a component to address this major concern aired by national scientist Ernie Domingo, which is to put our young faculty on a development track, and we should be able to support them through a merit track. And so you will see on the website that there is a single or dual type of research grant for PhDs who have earned their PhDs within a year. And you will be supported for basic research. So that's a kind of a push effect. Now, for the pull effects, we know that well, our salaries, Mr. President, are already increasing, and they might increase again, right? So we have a basic compensation, but we want to multiply compensate those who perform. So this is a university of meritocracy, so we can have double or triple compensations for your research output or your productivity. And one of them is the SBS, and still another would be the International Publication Awards, which has been expanded recently. And we're also thinking that we will make it even better by offering what we call Platinum and Gold International Publication Awards for publications in the highest quality journals determined by our leading scientists in physics, in biology, in environmental science, with the help of our national scientists. So that will improve the quality of our research publications, not just the number of our research publications. Okay, but I think that everyone recognizes the major problem in our university, and this is something that we have been thinking about as scientists when I was working closely with our former dean and now the chancellor of UP Diliman, Professor Salman, who is himself a scientist 3 in this system, and that is the gap in our faculty of the PhDs. And so we need to have initiatives to improve the number and quality of our PhDs and our graduation rate in the university. And so we would have some initiatives in this direction, and we are hoping that we will get support for what we call a visiting professor program to our CUs to increase the number of PhD members for our local PhD students. But another one, it would be to try to get the best and brightest of our undergraduates, our our summas, magnas, and quins to become our faculty members. And therefore, we should have this program where we will incentivize them through an honored graduate faculty fast-track development program. Okay, so we could provide them protected for research so that they can finish their undergraduate thesis and publish this, and then go on their PhDs on the fast track. But, well, there's another way of doing it, and this is to attract foreign-based PhDs back to our university through certain incentives. Okay. On the last goal, on a lighter note, we are thinking that the very, very concern, and that is that when we send our PhDs abroad, especially all our non-PhDs who are very talented, charming, hardworking, and very good-looking, there's always a chance that they will not return, okay, and they will renege on these contracts with the university where we support. So this is not a joke. This is real. I mean, this is a way to deal with it. But I think that the mentors or the older faculty in our university should find a way to retain our young faculty. And one way to do it is to do some matchmaking among them. Okay, I'm serious about this. Okay, because there was a dean, this former dean, our chancellor, would disallow his RAs from courting each other. Okay, he said, "It's a no-no. You belong to this research group. You cannot be my boyfriend or girlfriend. Bow wow." But that's not the trend. Worldwide couples, they work together. Okay, so we are going to hold on February 14 the first of these, socials where we're going to get our eligibles from the different institutes and to meet one another. We have so many PhD students and RAs who are pushing 30 and they're getting nervous. They're not meeting the right guys. And no problem, they get caught within 6 months. So we're going to do something like this. Because he realizes that we need to create a family, a community of researchers who are happy living in the university. So this is one real way of doing it. Thank you.
So that final project is really, really true, and that's going to be CU-wide from UP Baguio in the north all the way to UP Mindanao in Mindanao. Watch the date, February 14. And maybe in the invitation, we're going to have our sweethearts, the dance couple, taking the lead. If they were able to do it, then all the other 30 years and above will be able to do it. And even President Pascual is ready to be the godfather of all of these new couples forthcoming. All the VPs will be veil sponsors, whatever sponsors, and we're all for this. The PhD Filipino for the PhD Filipina. Mabuhay ang programa niyan. Mabuhay! And we call on our President Alfredo Pascual for our closing remarks for today, but actually serve as an inspiration for our coming days. President Pascual, please.
Our UP scientists, our distinguished UP academics and guests, ladies and gentlemen, sa pagpapalad at palayan natin sa inyo lahat. I am deeply honored to be here today at the Bahay ng Alumni. I started my return to UP this year as president of the UPAA. I'm with you today to recognize and share the company of the pillars of our scientific community at the University of the Philippines. My interest in and respect for the sciences is of course due to my own background in chemistry, of course undergraduate background. Well, my career path led me in the field of development finance. I've always maintained that my training in the sciences was the defining phase in my life that helped me succeed in my professional career. The title UP Scientist
is a rare distinction reserved only for the truly outstanding experts and achievers in the field of scientific study. And to have been conferred the award today means that you now join the distinguished list of scholars who have made a mark in the sciences, in the university, and more importantly, in the country. You have set the bar by which other scientists who come after you will be judged. And more than this, you have become true models of credibility in your fields and true ambassadors of UP to the world. I therefore take this opportunity to congratulate all of you. Your skills and knowledge will help in achieving our vision of UP as a great university, and a university that takes a leadership role in national development. We have shared dreams of UP being a truly great university. But a university is only as great as its knowledge users. The 30 of you who were awarded today are proof that UP is indeed a national university that provides a leadership role in our country. Your leading role in international organizations and conferences brings pride to our university and inspires the next generation of faculty members in UP to maintain the highest standards of honor and excellence in the service of our people. The technologies we produce will improve the lives of our people and drive our industries forward. And the breakthrough research we publish not only enriches our understanding of the world, but also helps our future generation push the frontiers of science. I hope the title of UP Scientist and all the benefits that come with it inspire all of you to do even more in serving the cause of research and in addressing the needs of people. Rest assured that my administration will do its best to support you. As Vice President Giselle has already explained, we're putting together a package of programs to motivate our researchers and to get them to really feel dedicated to doing their research in the Philippines, particularly in the University of the Philippines. Quite short of really doing very active and deliberate social engineering that people themselves seems to have in mind. We will disseminate also your breakthroughs and activities through the Padayon UP Public Service Office that we are organizing to get our research output and our other accomplishments made known to the rest of the country. I am confident that the good we do today will be felt for generations to come. Here's hoping that we all wake up tomorrow with a renewed inspiration to push old boundaries and produce innovative solutions to the problems of our nation. The people are counting on us. If we all work together, there is no reason for us to fail. Let us all do our best for the people in whose name UP exists. Mabuhay ang UP Scientist, mabuhay ang Universidad ng Pilipinas, mabuhay tayong lahat. Salamat.
Maraming salamat, President Pascual. Tunay nga naging mayabong at napakayaman itong hapong ito. Kaya bago po tayo tumuloy sa ating meriendahan, ay tumayo